What's up, guys? Welcome to another Marriage Monday, where we spend Mondays talking about marriage. My name's Amir.
My name is Kamara.
And today, we're going to talk about our first year of marriage and how to get over those
Awkward moments.
Yeah.
Awkwardness. Let's dive into our first year of marriage and why it was so awkward.
Can you get your arm off my...
That is why it was awkward, because you kept saying things like that.
Yeah, it was awkward. So, the first, obviously... You began our marriage off with an awkward experience, and that just set the tone. As soon as she touched...
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
This ear situation has nothing to do with mutual awkwardness, okay?
Man, you serious? Like, I was so uncomfortable that it
lasted a whole year?
It permeated through our whole first year of marriage. Yeah. As soon as she touched my ear, link in the description below, our story part 3. Yeah. She did some weird stuff. All right. Okay.
Okay, back to it. So our first year of marriage was awkward because, one, we didn't really know each other too well. So we didn't know what to talk about. We didn't know... I mean, we had an idea of what, each other liked and hobbies and things like that. But we were used to interacting in a group setting. So, of course, when you're by yourself, it's like, oh, crap. There's no one here to lead the conversation.
Right. It was much different when, like, for me, I felt almost out of place when it was just me and her. I was like, oh man, like, what am I gonna do now? Like, I'm really good at communicating in group settings, but when it's just one-on-one, it's a little bit more difficult for me because I can play off other people and I can, interject in different ways. But when it's just one-on-one, it can get a little awkward.
Yeah, I remember one time, so Amir had this habit of saying things, and the way he would say it, it would come off super wrong. Like, super, offensive. I remember one time he was like, oh, let's go out, but, you know what, I don't like going out with you. I said, what? Do you remember this?
No.
You were like, I don't like going out with you. I was like, what do you mean you don't like going out with me? Mind you, this is in our first 6 months, Yeah. I don't really like going out with you. What do you mean you don't like going out? Oh, I don't mean you personally. I just prefer a group setting. So I'm like, oh, so you would rather go out with our family, my family again. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to go out with just you. I was like, well, you didn't say just me. You said you don't want to go out with me, your wife.
All right, whatever.
So that, I think, played a huge role in the awkwardness because things you would say, they would come off super who says things like that?
Yeah. So I did things that made our relationship awkward, but you were awkward, period. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
I hate when you do that. Before we dive in and giving tips, we have to talk about our experience so people could say so how they got over it. So first, that was things that were just awkward. We just didn't know what to talk about.
We didn't know what to talk about. We're not really the same
person.
We're not the same person, but we don't share the same activities, right? There's not a lot of overlap in what we do. She likes photography. I like sports. I like to run. She likes to walk.
And it's almost the same. Our legs are still moving.
Yeah. I like to go on hikes. She likes flat ground.
No. I'm not going to argue with you there.
Yeah.
Okay, I like hikes.
There's a lot of, differences that, in the beginning it was kind of difficult to find a common ground, but at the same time, we were
able to, but I feel like we didn't have a lot of opportunities to just talk.
Yeah.
You didn't want to talk. That was the thing. You didn't want to talk. Yeah. You would find, you would do things that would, prevent us from actually having conversations. We went to the movies a lot. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We went to the movies a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you don't really have a conversation when you're in the movies.
Yeah, I did. I did do a lot. That was my plan, though. I knew that there wasn't much for us to talk about. And when we would talk, I don't know, the conversation just felt a little just weird sometimes.
It was like our car ride, super quiet.
So I was like, okay, I need to find a way to put ourselves in the situations where we can communicate but we don't have to like really conversate for a long time. So we started working out, first at our apartment complex, we'd go out for runs, and then we got a membership and we started working out at the gym. We watched a lot of movies, right? And then when we stopped feeling like going to actual movies, we ended up watching anime.
That's where we found our common ground.
Yeah, that's where we started.
That's where the conversation like sparked.
Yeah.
That's when we're like, oh crap, you watch this stuff? Like, what's your favorite one? Like, let's watch this one, the one I used to watch, and then he would give suggestions. So that was like finding anime was like crucial in our communication.
Yeah. So anime helped our relationship. It's crazy to say that, but
it did.
It did. We really bonded over some.
We
Naruto
did. We would. I would be so excited for the weekends because he didn't have work, and we would like move our couch and make into like this little fort thing and spend all day watching anime.
That was another thing because I worked, 9 to 5. Actually, I just started my job, so I was working later, so it was more like 9 to 8 or something like that. So because I was doing a lot of reading and stuff so that I could understand my position and what I was doing, so I was putting in an extra hour so that I could do that, blah blah blah. Gotta get to the money. And so we really didn't have that much time because you get home, and luckily I did leave late because in the Bay Area if you leave any time between like 3:30 and 5 o'clock, it's going to take you almost an hour to get home.
And then we would bond over how gross my food was.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. Tell them about the macaroni story.
I'm not.
So what happened?
Okay, so I did not cook when I was single because my stepmom did all the cooking and I worked late at night. And then when I got home, I was tired. I didn't feel like cooking. So I didn't have to cook. So I knew how to make limited things like chicken and like lamb. Meats. I was good with meats.
We had a lot of pizza.
We did have
We had so much Domino's.
We had so. So I tried to be creative and I was too lazy to look up recipes. So I was like, oh, let me just do what common sense tells me to do. With macaroni, you get cheese and you get noodles, and that's it. With milk, and you mix it all together. So I tried to make macaroni and cheese without using a recipe, and it was just like cheesy noodles. And Amir comes home from work, and he's like, so what's for dinner? I'm like, oh, well, here. So I had a plate, and he was like, oh. He tasted it. He's like, oh. What is this supposed to be? I'm like, what do you mean it's food? Eat it. And he was like, is this? And he starts laughing. He's like, is this macaroni and cheese? And he starts dying. And then he calls his grandmother. He calls his grandmother on FaceTime and was like, look what Kamara did. Look what she tried to do. And they're both over there laughing at me. I'm this new wife who doesn't know what I'm doing in the kitchen. And they're just thinking it's so funny. I'm just like, wow, I failed as a wife. I'm just going to go in my room and lock the door.
Remember that one time you tried to kill me with salt when you made that spinach? Oh my God.
I accidentally added a little bit too much.
It was like half spinach, half salt. Because I tasted it and I was like, I'm looking, I'm like, babe, are you eating this? Like,
I was eating it too.
I'm like, yo, there's no way that you're eating the same thing that I'm eating. And then she was just like eating it. I was like, babe, you're not eating that. You're done. That's gonna.
I think that's when we ordered the pizza too, like right there.
I was like, babe, we're not eating salt today, salt and greens. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
Oh man.
Put that on your back if you get a cut.
Going forward, basically what we're saying is it's like we had a lot of moments that were awkward, that were uncomfortable, and that was like something that at the time at least for me at the time, was like, oh my gosh, this is so like embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I think having those moments kind of added, I want to say like weight to our marriage in a sense, where we're able to like talk about it and laugh about it and like make jokes about it. So to get through the awkward phase of your marriage is just to push through it and have those awkward moments. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, I think that there's actually a few things that you can do to
help ease it.
Yeah. So say it again.
Stop helping me. Okay, you abusive man. So babe. So what's your first point?
My first point is that you should try and find some type of common activity that you both like to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, you know what else we did? We tried things that other people liked. Like you said, you like going to the gym. So we played gym. So we went to the gym. And you got into soccer. So you bought me soccer shoes. So we did that together.
Right.
Like we did that kind of stuff together. And then Amir would take me places that he felt like, oh, you would like to take pictures over here. And he would let me take pictures of him. So we kind of both got involved in each other's hobbies.
Right.
And were able to like, do it together.
Yeah, and like this is like the ultimate culmination of us like getting involved in each other's hobbies, right? You know, I like doing new things, and you like creating great material.
Yeah, I like doing new things too.
Yeah.
Like
I'm the one that does the new stuff.
I like doing new things.
Babe, you're hella like objective.
I am not.
You're hella objective to new things.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Anyways, but you can find things you can find things to do together, like traveling if you like to travel different places, like to do sports, basketball, bowling.
I hate basketball.
Golf. That's always something. Hiking. Hiking's fun. Some people like bouldering.
What is bouldering?
It's where it's rock climbing.
Oh,
yeah.
Big rocks.
Something like that.
So what's the next on your list?
And the next thing I think is probably the most important is that you should worship together. Like you get married for the sake of Allah, and like that's the one thing that like there's so much other things going on in a marriage that people almost forget that you got married for half of your deen. You got married so that you could better yourself in Islam. So by worshiping together, like praying together, I know women don't really have to go to the masjid, but bringing your wife to the masjid, just like coming to and from the masjid, you guys can talk to Allah. You can wake up in the mornings praying Fajr, doing dhikrs together, reading Quran, reading Hadith. These things which we did in our first year of marriage and things that helped us to build a bond with each other and also with Allah. And I think that's important. Yeah, it's really important in Islam, especially like if you haven't really thought about that or done that. I think you should definitely try to include Allah more in your life. Make sure that you don't forget to greet your spouse when you come home, right? When you come home, regardless if it's the man or the woman, give salams, ask them how they're doing, ask them about their day.
Trying to feel like involved,
right? But like help. This helps to create like a more emotional connection. Women love hugs. I've never met a woman who doesn't. So when you come in and you give her a hug,
let's clarify that you have a lot of sisters.
Yeah.
Before people think like, dang, Amir's out there giving women random hugs because he knows they love it.
Yeah.
You ain't doing that, right, babe?
No.
Okay.
If a woman is upset or something like that, just give her a hug. She might punch you or something like that. Squeeze a little bit harder. Smile. They can't fight it. I'm telling you, it's a secret that people need to know.
Yeah,
hugs completely get rid of the pain or whatever.
Okay, I think this should be a topic for another conversation because you can't just give a hug because like, oh, I want her to shut up. Let me just give her a hug. Right. It's like you have to be willing to
you have to be willing to talk, yeah. But if you guys have been talking for a little while or something like that, and she's upset or something, give her a hug.
So if it's starting to get like aggressive,
you're like, man, forget this. I'm done with this argument. Finally, just talk, right? Just talk. We had, I think, early in our marriage, we were like straying so far away from just talking that
Yeah, I think that's what made it kind of
just,
hard to.
Just talk, you know. You marry this person, you're gonna see him every day for a pretty long time, hopefully forever. So just talk, have a conversation. Hey, babe, how are you doing today?
Mm-hmm.
You look beautiful, mashallah.
Thanks.
Look at your eyes.
I know. Look at my
God.
eyebrows.
You did so good. Oh my God.
Thank you. I have highlight on too. You see it?
Yeah, you're
Bam.
like shining.
Bam.
May Allah make it easy for all of us
Ameen.
to get through our first year of marriage and those awkward phases.
Ameen.
I mean.